Hello and welcome to the channel everyone. Hope you are all well. Before we get into the juicy bit, I just wanted to say that I've been trading for near enough 10 years now, and for the best part of those 10 years I have absolutely nothing to show for it other than blown accounts and misery. So after years of following strategies such as supply and demand, this one here, so let me just like supply, and then you've got demand potentially, I don't know, but after all this kind of stuff, and then you've got ICT strategies, and then support and resistances, so you might have a resistance here and then support here, all those kind of strategies. I've been trading those. I don't know, maybe I've been doing it wrong, but I've been losing, blowing accounts, and it just wasn't consistent. I used to make profits here and there, and but it was definitely not something that could be continued for the long term. And maybe you're in the same boat right now. Maybe that's why you've clicked on this video, and if you have, guess what, you're in for an absolute treat. So anyways, after many years of losses and hours of backtesting, I've come up with a new perfect strategy, and I'm going to share it with you all for free. Yep, completely for free. I'm not selling anything, no subscriptions, no mentorship, no nothing. Why? Because firstly, I believe if your system works, you shouldn't have to rely on selling memberships to fund your lifestyle. Also, I don't particularly want to manage a walkthrough process, and just when I also, the reason is because I wish when I started out I could have found some videos similar to this to learn a system that is just easy to follow and successful. So with all that being said, let's get into the video. Now, there's loads of videos on YouTube about the basics of market structure and support and resistances, so you have to know the basics before you can follow this system. You must also understand risk management. This is the absolute key to not blowing your account. So my system is a set and forget system, and I only place one trade a day. Whether it wins or loses, I don't care, and I get on with my life. This eliminates the first hurdle in trading, which is emotions. For example, you could have placed trades before, and when it goes wrong, you've changed directions, and then you wish you hadn't because your initial direction was right. So this kind of eliminates that, because you're literally placing the trade and you're going away from the computer doing something else completely different. I also only place the trade only on the US30. Reason being, it's the only one that I found that is consistent, and I only place it 30 minutes after the New York Open, which in the UK summertime translates to roughly 3 p.m. and that's it. I'll set it and forget it, and it's either going to win or it's going to lose. So only one of two outcomes is possible. It's like you're either going to win or you're going to lose. Alright, so let's get into it and I'll show you how it's done. So the market works in fractals. What that basically means is if the market's doing something on the daily time frame, it's going to be doing the similar sort of thing on the lower time frames, so hourly, 15 minutes. Let me give you an example. What usually happens is the market goes up, then goes down, then up, and then down, and then up, and then down. Okay, we're going to be taking advantage of all these little trades that happen in between. So let me show you in real time what I mean. Okay, so basically what you want to do first is find your channel. You've got your channel here, you draw that on a daily, right? Once you've done that, you're going to be looking to buy or sell on the lower time frame. So I use the 15 minutes, and this is my strategy, the 15 minutes time frame. Now, so when you get to the 15 minutes time frame, you'll be left with something like this. Now you've got your daily channel here, so you know it's reached roughly around the bottom. So if anything happens below here, we're going to be changing our bias. But for the time being, we know the market is more likely to go up rather than go down, and that's because obviously we see that it's reached this bit here and we're expecting the market to go further up. Okay, so now you've found out that the market is going on a down, is more likely to go up. So now the next step is we need to apply one of our indicators, which is the pivot point. Here we go, that's our pivot points. Let's just hide this away. So there's, you have to, these are the settings for the pivot points. You want pivot points, traditional, auto, daily values. Okay, so that's the settings for the pivot points. Now we're only concentrating on particular days, right? So the next part of this strategy is looking, let's say this day is gone, this day is complete, we've, for whatever reason we've missed this trade. Okay, we're starting from now. So what do we notice here is the market has come back, retested the channel. So whenever this happens, the likelihood is the market's going to continue going up, and it's broken. Well, it's approached this resistance here. Can you see resistance here? It's coming up towards that, but that is too close. So our target is going to be up to R2 here. So we're going to do a long position from 3 o'clock, R2, and our stop loss is going to be just here. So the risk to reward is 1 to 4, so 1 to 1 basically. And let's just see what happens. And as you can see, we've been taken out. I think we just get taken out here. So we've been taken out on that first trade. Now let's move our 3 o'clock line just to give us the idea where 3 o'clock is. So that one's done. Now 3 o'clock is coming. Okay, so now we can get rid of this, so we know that trade is done for the day. That's yesterday's trade, so that's 1 to 1. Okay, now we're only going to be focusing on today's data, this day's data, so this is all of this here. So what we do is wait for 3 o'clock. There's 3 o'clock, and what we're going to do is draw our next set of channels. So this makes sense down here. What we're going to do is we're going to be taking the short position. The reason being is because it's approached the resistance line here, and because the pivot point is up here, we're going to be taking the short position. So let's do the short here. Stop loss is going up here, and take profit is down here. So obviously the risk to reward is slightly worse. It's not 1 to 1, but the chances of winning is higher. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I think we're approaching, so we're going to leave that trade running while we drag our line to 3 o'clock. We can get rid of this channel because that's no longer valid for today's entry. Keep that trade running, and we'll wait for 3 o'clock. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that's 3 o'clock one. We can see that we're trading in a range, which is not a problem. And we're going to be taking the short here again. So we go for a short position, stop loss is going to be up there, target is going to be down here. So it's smaller So the risk to reward is worse, but again, higher chance of winning. So let's see what happens. So we're 2 trades in. 3 o'clock is coming up again. So we've won 1 trade. We're just coming up to 3 o'clock now. There we go. There's 3 o'clock. So when that candle stops, we'll. Okay, so that trade is closed there. Okay, see, it's just been hit there. So that's 2 trades won. Keep this one running. 3 o'clock candle. Oh, I've gone a bit too far out. So that's 3 o'clock candle there. We can get rid of this because that's invalid now. We're focusing on the data for this range. Going to draw out another thing. You can see that this is here. So again, we're going to be taking another short position. And this short position, it looks like it's tapped into there. So what we're going to be doing here is, because the market's up here, we're going to be taking the short from here, stop loss up there, and target down there. So let's see what happens. Haven't been closed out. Oh, so that's done. That one's lost. So we can get that. So we've won 2, lost 1. Okay, so we're waiting for 3 o'clock again. Drag this out a little bit more. That trade is still running. Okay, there's a 3 o'clock candle. We're focusing on only this data. And we're going to plot the chart now. So okay, so it's going to be another short. It looks like another short. Go for another short from here. Stop loss up here. And take profit down to there. Sorry, wrong one. Take profit down to there. So let's see what happens. Oops. Yeah, so that either way it would have taken. So we've won this one straight away. So let's delete that one. So we could have potentially made more if we stuck to that one, but I always take it on the first one just because of it's more guaranteed. So that's the second trade done as well. Can you see that big long trade? That one's done. Okay, now next 3 o'clock candle, and there you go. We're going to be only focusing on, so that one's done. We're going to be focusing only on today's data. So there we go. So that's the candle structure for today. Market structure. What can we see? See the market going up. So we use the tops over there. And again, we're respecting the line. So we're going to do another short, which is nuts. But there we go. Stop loss up there. Target down here. See how this plays out. Okay. Is that 3 o'clock? Yeah, that's 3 o'clock. So now we can get rid of this. Let's get rid of that as well. And let's plot the last set. So we're only focusing on this, remember? This we know is the start of the day because the pivot lines have changed, can you see from here? So draw that there, and what do we have here? We have another short position, which is nuts, but there we go. Stop loss up here, take profit down to that there, this line here. And let's see what happens. Hopefully we can get both of these closed. Ooh, gone drawdown. This is scary normally. But you wouldn't really be bothered about this because you've just set it and forget. Let's see what happens. Boom, boom. That's all of them done. Can you see? So we only lost one trade out of all of these. Can you imagine? Isn't that crazy? So yeah, I know it's very easy for, hindsight to look at chart like this, and if you notice most other YouTube videos, this is what really frustrated me when I was watching or trying to learn from other YouTube videos, is they would talk about certain strategies, and they would say stuff like, oh yeah, supply and demand, for example. They'll say, oh, supply and demand, let's look for supply and demand, all these things here. So let's have a look. Oh, there's potential supply there. So let's use the replay function. Okay, wait, I haven't even done this properly, wait. So with hindsight, it's easy to say stuff like, let's just find an example. There you are. Perfect example. Supply and demand. Oh, there's a potential supply. And let's go back here. I just identified a supply here. And I'm going to put my long position there. Long. And we're going to wait for the market to come back here. And when the market comes back, there you go, there's our long position being targeted, and our target's going to be up there. Blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, can you see it's just been here? See, stuff like that really annoys me because you've seen the data and it's easy to say, but in reality what happens is, in reality, you're going to be looking at trades like this, for example, and go, oh yeah, look, I can see a nice little zone here and a zone there. So let's go for a long position here. Oh wait, let's actually do that. So let's watch the market. We want it to come back in and tap that area and then go back in. So we can see high volume here. Can you see this high volume? So high volume. Oh, okay, we've missed that one. So there's another block here. Can you see this order block here? All of this is an order block because that's all like trading volume going on here. So we'll get in when this market comes back down, retraces. So it's retraced. Alright, let's retrace. And normally people won't even have these high stop losses, and you keep on missing. You're patient and you're patient, and the market comes in. So let's see, it's going to tap us in, yes. So let's say we're ultra conservative and we go that way, and there. So it's tapped us in, yeah, it's tapped us in. See what happens. And this normally happens 95% of the time. Even though you've got these massive risk to reward ratios, which are great, 95% of the time, this happens. Boom. And if you're a clever trader, yeah, you would have taken up some of your positions here. You could have done your positions here. But it's hard to take positions out. especially when you've got a small account and your small account's only generating um, little profits. For example, if you've only put £200 in your account and you're doing this trade, you want to maximize it. You do not, like, obviously the safe option is to always take it out, but as humans we like the satisfaction of the trade completing fully. So I don't know, maybe those strategies, they work for people. Obviously they do, because people do make money from them, but for the majority I don't think they work, because it's just like, you literally got to be watching your computer all the time, see, managing risk and whatnot. With my system, it allows me to have free time. I just place it one particular time of the day. I don't have to worry about it. The result is the result. That's it. End of story. That's why I've gone for this system, and it works for me. And if you're interested, if you're genuinely interested, then like the video, share it, and subscribe. And if I see any good responses, and if everyone's kind of like on board as well, then I'll make like an updated video with the fine details about how to plot these figures. And just as a little side thing here, just to prove that I'm not like just messing about here, let me show you something. Let me just put my pivots on. Okay, so obviously I was talking about hindsight. I've seen all this data. I kind of know that the market's going that way. What if I move the screen up here? So now I can't see anything. Keep going this way. I don't know what's happening. And let's use the replay function on 13th of June, for example. Yeah, 13th of June. There's no way I know this data, and we'll just we'll just do this again and see what happens one last time, just as a quick backtest type thing. And this is what I do regularly anyway, just to backtest my thing. Vertical line. Alright, so 3 o'clock. Where's 3 o'clock? So remember, we're not interested in anything else. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Until it hits. I always get onto the computer around 2:30, just to it gives me 30 minutes just to see what's happening. But you could literally do this like 10 minutes before 3 o'clock. But yeah, so we're presented with this information here. Okay, let's see. So the day starts here. It's on a downward trend. So we are going to be taking, where's our parallel? Parallel, there we go. There we go. Just to make it fit so it looks right. This needs to be down a little bit. There you go. Now we're going to be taking our long position. I wouldn't normally take it that high, just because the trend line is coming up. Can you see the trend line is coming up? So what I'm going to do is just take it there. So we got more of a guaranteed win there. And then this one here is fine as it is. Obviously a tighter one would be here, but I don't like that it's within the range of the channel. So we'll do that. So we've got about 1-to-1. So let's see. And you would forget it. You would go home, do your thing, whatever you're doing, blah 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 blah, and you leave it running. So you're just leaving it running. Doesn't matter what happens. Okay, so we got close out there. That was a bad example. All right, next one. We're gonna get a win. We can get rid of this. 3 o'clock. Let's move this to 3. The thing is, losing is part of this. Oh, that's the other problem is it's on a 1 hour chart. It should have been on a 15. But anyway, oh, that's my mistake. If it was on the 15, I would have. Anyway, that was a silly mistake. But anyway, 15 anyway. Let's start again. That was a mistake on my part. I'm rushing it. Right, so 3 o'clock. Okay, so there we go. What do we see here? Trend moving up. Because most of the day the trend, there's the day starts here. So most of the day the trend's been moving up. There you go, that makes sense. That also makes kind of sense because can you see these are lining up to that and that lines up to that. And so it's 3 o'clock now. Now what happens is we put, because we're in the framework there, we see another position here. We're going to go for a long there, target up to there, and stops. We're going to go, because this stop is too close to where we are, stops are going to have to go there. And this is a 1-to-1. Let's see what happens. Leave it on. This is the second trade. You would have had another trade running on by now. We should get hit. There we go. See? So we did have 1-to-1. Okay, let's do one more just to be on the winner's side. One last one, and then we'll end the video there. Right, this where's the and remember, there's no hindsight here. There's no like there's no data. I haven't seen this data. Okay, 3 o'clock. And this is the last one. Win or lose, this is the last one. 3 o'clock. Okay, that's 3 o'clock. Looking at this data here, 15-minute chart. There we go. What do we see? We need a parallel chart. Market's been trending, but we have a break of structure here. Can you see? So what we need to do is follow that break of structure, and up to there, this needs to kind of line up with that. And so if the price is there, so this is quite interesting because this happens quite a lot, and usually I'm wrong on these ones. I need to because normally what happens is retests this, but I don't like to keep such a massive stop loss. So just under there, take profit up to there. Okay, so this is 1-to-1. And I might be pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I am pleasantly surprised. Very pleasant indeed. There we go. But yeah, so that's like a typical trade that I would take, and it works. It just works. Look at that. That's amazing. But anyway, so that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, and subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. What else can I say? Yeah, I'll go into more details about how I plot this. There's a specific way you have to plot these. Otherwise, the system doesn't work. And that took me years to figure out. And it's like, it's so simple. It's just like nuts. But yeah, if this video gains any traction, then I'll do a follow-up video with like the proper detailed instructions, step-by-step instructions how to do it. So yeah, until next time, have a good one.